Now, for me, 2025 was a weird year for me. And I've talked about this on the podcast for what seems like an entire year now of how my vibe towards hunting and the big buck craze has kind of changed a little bit. Um, and it just, the big buck aspect of all of this does not impress me anymore. I like big bucks and do I like chasing big bucks? And isn't it awesome when a big buck is on my trail camera? Absolutely. Am I going to put my tree stands in the positions every single year to where these deer are going to, like where these big bucks will live? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be doing that. However, I've lost some of the drive for these big animals and actually what it takes to consistently stay on top of them, know where they're at, do all of that stuff. And I don't know why. I just have kind of lost it. And I think part of it is the following. And that is, I see how the hunting community and the hunting industry in a way pimps out big bucks so much that it is affecting the hunting culture and community as a whole. And what I mean by that is we all know what it takes to shoot a big deer, and that is to have access to a lot of acres to where you can grow, do your habitat management, to do your wildlife, and that's okay. I feel like that's been around, but now it's just at a scale to where we have, I don't want to say hoarding of land, but we got people who have leases that don't hunt in that state. I'll just use Iowa, for example. We got non-resident landowners. We got people leasing ground and not hunting it. We have displacement of local hunters. And this is not just happening in Iowa. This is happening every place in the United States, which is causing the hunting experience for more people to go downhill. And I think that experience is so heavily revolved around giant antlers, and we've made it about age class and not the fun of actual hunting and things like that, and why I started hunting in the first place. And it's having ripple effects, not only in the hunting community, but just like in land sales and land prices. And you just look at it, and everything seems to be, unless you have a state where there's large amounts of public land available for people to fall back on, you just see it becoming harder to get access and harder to get access. The days of knocking on doors are over in the area that I live. And I had a really good conversation with Nick Skinner from Iowa Land Company on one of the latest episodes that I did here on the Nine Finger Chronicles, and had a really good conversation. So if you want that full conversation, go check that out. And so I'm in this space, and I'm sitting like what kind of content I've built the Nine Finger Chronicles and some of the other podcasts that I do on this theory, like the method of the big buck, how to locate big bucks. I've done that, but I also now start to see the downfall, and that, yes, I do, like, the content that I put out does impact what people think about. And I think it's human nature to want to go out and get the big buck. But at the end of the day, like, it's harder to get the big buck.